The NJ1ST Facebook group is all that remains, with 2,500 members. You can join us and have private discussions with NJ Politics. My last NJ1ST podcast post I uploaded right here. I do acknowledge that the wind solar farms and the corrupt business dealings with Governor Murphy is what we are stressing, along with the killing of the dolphin and whales. I understand. I just more think there are pressing issues in America. But hey, I'm on the west side of Jersey. I know that on the east side of New Jersey, people are more attached with business and livelihoods with the ocean and the water and the wildlife, the maritime. In West New Jersey would be the bears, the deer, and the foxes, right? On a more serious note, you may have seen this gone viral. 13 mayors arrested on child sex crimes since 2021. This was a college park in Maryland. Mayor Patrick Wohan is charged with 40 counts of possession of child exploitative material, 16 counts of distribution of child exploitative material. So he had child porn and he distributed child porn. He just stepped down as the city of College Park mayor. Thanks, Patrick Wohan, for his many years of dedicated service. That is really weird that the city had that in the press release. Effective immediately, Mayor Pro Tempore Denise Mitchell will serve as presiding officer until a special election. So, disgraced mayor got a nice little probably severance package. I don't know what he's going to get. He's going to get his pension. They're not even going to take that away from him. But child sex crime trafficker. Jeez. If you search Mayor Patrick Wohan on Twitter, you'll find, quote, if Mayor Patrick Wohan had been a Republican, an evangelical Christian, or an Orthodox Jew, the media would blow it up and have a field day with it. So maybe this story isn't growing as viral. LGBT activist Democrat Mayor Patrick Wohan charged with 56 child pornography charges. Damn, dude. So this guy was definitely with the LGBT and the far leftist Pete Buttigieg. He was supporting him. So this is really, really bad, but at least they got him, right? But what I want to pinpoint is that everybody that did pick up on this story pinpointed that he was a Democrat. And that's okay. That is A-okay. But I don't live where Democrats live. I live where Republicans live. And if people viewing this article would just scroll down and continue the story, pops up right here. Mansfield Township. That's Warren County. That is right where I live. Ted Tomaszewski, a former mayor of Mansfield Township, Republican, New Jersey, was charged in January. Yeah, that's of 2023, with sexual assault, luring, and child endangerment. He is accused of engaging in multiple sex acts with a 15-year-old in 2022, last year, after leaving office in 2014. So who knows what the hell he's been doing for decades. Again, this is Mansfield Township, New Jersey, Warren County, Northwest New Jersey, completely Republican. Reported on in January of this year by New Jersey 101.5, former Mansfield Township, New Jersey mayor charged with sexual assault of a 15-year-old teen. It says if you scroll down to the bottom, he's not welcome in the GOP. Warren County GOP chairman Doug Steinhardt told New Jersey 101.5 that although I believe in the presumption of innocence, considering the charges, Mr. Tomaszewski is not welcome in the Warren County Republican events until those charges are resolved. So at the events, I guess he's still welcome in the Warren County Republicans. That's interesting. He also commented that county and local law enforcement, he commended county and local law enforcement for their vigilance and proactive intervention on behalf of our children and the most vulnerable. So I guess we'll let the court decide and see how that goes. However, before I start tarnishing the Warren County NJGOP, I do give them credit for in 2019, I participated with Greg Quinlan, and they had a volunteer event where we would go to hotels all around Morris County and give bars of soap to locations where there's predominantly sex trafficking occurring. If you want to pause this right here and read the passage I have in NJ1ST, it is sincere to myself. You can do that.
Team 12 investigation now. Did officials in Warren County fail to protect kids from sexual abuse decades ago? And is the county, even now, blocking their efforts to get justice? A warning, the following story may be disturbing to some of our viewers. Our senior investigative reporter, Walt Kane, has this exclusive Team 12 investigation.
He undid my pants and took them down.
He was a county sheriff.
When he was on top of me, I couldn't breathe.
But Edward Bullock admitted sexually abusing children at Warren County's youth shelter.
There are some county employees who reported this. The problem is it fell on deaf ears.
Did Warren County know the abuse was happening?
Warren County wants to keep the darkest chapter in its history buried and hope it never sees the light.
In 1988, WM was 11 years old. He was at the Hackettstown police station after his mother left him unattended.
A few minutes later, Sheriff Bullock walks in, and I was scared. The last interaction I had with this man, I was being molested.
He says Bullock was supposed to drive him to the shelter, but took a detour onto this dirt road. What happened next haunts him to this day.
The sheriff raped me. It hurt, I was in pain, and I was crying and I was screaming and telling him to stop, and he just kept telling me that it was all right. It's not just sexual assault, it's the murder of a person's soul. There's no getting over that.
9 years earlier, Jack Jeffress was a runaway. He says Bullock picked him up in downtown Easton, Pennsylvania, drove him into New Jersey, and gave him pizza and beer.
I just started feeling dizzy, I assumed that I was drugged.
He says he fell asleep, and when he awoke, Bullock was on top of him.
The physical pain is something I'll never forget. It was terrible.
I feel shamed for it. Somehow I feel like, and I know better, I feel like he had a gun. I feel like maybe I could have took the gun.
Well, you know you were a kid, right? You were 11 years old.
I know he was a giant.
In 1992, Bullock pleaded guilty to official misconduct and confessed to sexual acts with 8 young boys. But he wasn't tried for rape until 2015. The case ended in a mistrial, and Bullock died a few months later. Jack, WM, and 2 other alleged victims are now suing Warren County.
I feel like they knew what was going on or knew something about it.
And our Team 12 investigation found the county was warned about Bullock's behavior. A former sheriff's officer said Bullock showed an interest in young boys, usually with blonde hair and blue eyes. A former shelter supervisor said there were comments on a daily basis. Several reported their concerns to supervisors, including the shelter director's secretary. I ran it past him a couple of times, she said. He would just say, well, you know, some things are better not known. One officer said it was almost like a running joke. People would see Bullock walking down the hall with a boy and snicker and laugh about it.
It sounds like it was an open secret, that everybody knew this was going on.
Which is true, but I find that disgusting.
Warren County says each and every one of these allegations is categorically and unequivocally false, adding, the county and county commissioners have been steadfast and unwavering in the commitment to prevent child and domestic abuse. But in court, the county argued that because the boys were neglected or had other issues, being raped would not have done them any more damage.
The notion that any child was already so far gone that we don't need to worry about the rapes by someone in their universe it's both scientifically incorrect, but it's also just cruel.
At a meeting just last week, I asked county commissioners about those tactics.
Are you proud of that defense, and in what way is that supportive of child abuse victims?
As you know, this is an active litigation, and we should not comment on this, period.
More than 30 years after he was raped on a dirt road, WM is still seeking justice.
Justice delayed is justice denied. I think the county needs to come clean once and for all.
Just an unbelievable abuse of power. Well, what is next in this case?
Well, Kurt, Tuesday, the victims will be holding a rally in Warren County, and the lawsuit by WM and 2 other plaintiffs is also scheduled to go to trial in the next few months. And I should tell you, you can watch an extended version of this investigation, 50% more content on news12.com, Kurt.
Quick question, too. The family, he's dead. His family, what do they say?
The Bullock estate was originally a defendant in that lawsuit. They have actually conceded liability. They signed an admission of liability. They are not contesting this lawsuit at all. I reached out to the attorney for the estate. They did not return our calls.
It's a horrific story from our past. Well, Kane, thank you.
I agree. This is a tragedy of the past, and Warren County specifically. I'm born here in 1992, and this gentleman here, Jeff Jeffress, he posted in our Facebook groups, and we were able to see the organized rally that he had for Warren County years later for Sheriff Bullock, because he was a victim of him. In our groups, he tried to organize the rallies at the steps of the Warren County commissioners, freeholders, and unfortunately the Republicans, they didn't join in the sentiment against sex crimes and child sex crimes. I did not understand why they weren't the whole time. You can see the minority of people there. There's not a lot at all. And if you were to see the Donald Trump rally that we had at the same steps, it's night and day. So these are most certainly maybe Democrats. But we had this group, and we allowed them to post in it because it's important. And there was no support from the three county freeholders that we see right here. They didn't support it at all. These are Republican leaders in Warren County, and they didn't support these guys or even interact with them.
I'm Wendy Davis, first at 6. People who say they were sexually assaulted by a former Warren County sheriff are speaking out.
In fact, they rallied on the steps of the county courthouse in Warren County, New Jersey today. WFMZ's Emma Wright has the story from Belvedere.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
Now. He goes by the initials WM and says for him, the Warren County courthouse is anything but a hall of justice.
In this very building behind me, I was repeatedly molested by former Warren County Sheriff Ed Bullock. Nothing was ever done to stop it. I was ultimately raped in the back of a sheriff's vehicle one night.
WM and Jack Jeffress, who says he was also molested by Bullock when he was a teenager, rallied with supporters on Tuesday, calling on Warren County officials to acknowledge what happened.
A lot of the residents around here don't even know what's going on because they kept it so quiet and tried to suppress all the information. Basically, we're all here to make some noise, bring awareness, and pressure the county into doing something.
I'm not going to call them victims, and we're going to call them survivors. Just like any other survivor, they deserve justice, one way or another.
Ed Bullock, who was sheriff from 1982 to 1991, was accused of molesting numerous boys in county custody. He pleaded guilty to official misconduct in 92, and Bullock died shortly after. But several civil suits have been filed to hold county officials accountable.
The county has never did anything for us, and they have no intentions of doing anything for us. To us, they were throwaway kids. This is how they felt, like trash.
A spokesperson for Warren County said since the issue involves litigation, it would be inappropriate to comment. Emma Wright, 69 News.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't know anything about this, even being involved with politics. I'm from Warren County. Had Jack Jeffress not been posting this all over the Facebook and internet, and unfortunately he stopped. His last post was saying that he's shutting down his website. Nobody cares, that the county doesn't care, and hopefully this isn't occurring a lot more because sadly a couple months after that all happened, this was July 2021, so that all occurred in like March, April, May, and then June, July, 3 Warren County men were amongst 31 arrested for allegedly exploiting children online. Attorney General Gubier Grewal, when he was our AG, he announced the Operation 24/7, and there was a gentleman from Oxford and a gentleman from, I shouldn't even call them gentlemen, a person from Belvedere, and that's Warren County. So Republicans, the leaders, they were silent. I can't stress that enough, that they really were. They were silent. Please join the NJ1ST Facebook group. Communicate with us over here. Get it back inactive. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the NJ1ST podcast. Thanks for watching, guys.